Good morning. I'm talking a little bit about the Fox settlement with Dominion and a few other things as well. So if you haven't heard, Fox is settling with Dominion for 785 million, which is like 10 times the amount, the value of Dominion themselves. Look, a lot of people talk about the end of the world, like the Christian rapture stuff. I want to lose my viewers. Um, I grew up hearing this. I grew up, I was at a Catholic, a Christian school. I grew up listening to, Pat LaHaye and watching Left Behind movies and Megiddo Code, all that stuff. And people try to make it that, gay marriage being legalized and, the transgender stuff, that this is signs of the end of the world, or at least the end of society. Because they try to say the Romans were like that. I don't understand that. The Romans were. Look, I think that seeing Alex Jones lose his case, seeing Trump go down with his stuff, seeing the Fox News have to settle for something 10 times the amount, they wouldn't have won that in the court case. Let me say off the bat. Seeing all these things make me think we really are at the end of the American right wing, or at least this era to where the American right wing was like legitimate, like in suits and like I always talk about how white supremacy isn't about guns and Confederate flag. It's about men in suits. It's about men in polished shoes. It's about the white shoe boys. It's about people who have Harvard and Princeton in their background. And I think that we might be seeing the end of that. And I don't say that because the system's working. I don't want to ever make anybody think that in this era the system worked and like the system did stuff to preserve life, and that's not what happened. America's more fascist than I thought it was, but the good thing is the right wing is a lot more bumbling and idiotic than I thought it was as well. That's what surprised me. Trump surrounded himself with a bunch of crooks and criminals. That's what happened. Yeah, Trump done some shit, and Trump is he's a bastard. Gonna get reelected. He's a bastard, no doubt. But the people he surrounded himself were really criminals, and he attacked all of them. He attacked Giuliani, called him a baby. He attacked other people as well, and you can't win by doing that. Sorry, this guy cutting grass. I don't want to be real loud in the background. Sorry, you all image now. When it comes down to this era, I really do feel like it comes down to them just failing and making mistakes of being criminal on everything they do. And to Alex Jones, in his case, the lawyer actually released 2 years of cell phone communications, messages between him just from his phone, showing that he had lied to the other attorneys, the prosecuting attorneys, and all this stuff. So, the plaintiff. So, my point I'm trying to make here is just very clear. I don't know about the end of the world. I don't know about any that kind of stuff. But I do know the Republican Party will have to look, or people who are aligned to the alternate right, alt-right, whatever. They're going to have to look at what they want to do next. I mean, all these polls I've been looking at the last couple of weeks talking about how the very nature of woke, that 60% of Americans support it. That a lot of Americans support being woke, and they look at it as something, very different than what the right wants promoted as. That's amazing to me. I think DeSantis is overreaching. I think that in the light of what I just mentioned, and the light of other polls I've looked at, if he goes outside the state of Florida, which he's doing with his book tour, and he tries his stuff, it won't be accepted. I don't think the transgender stuff is accepted as he thinks it is. I think he's gonna lose big. And he may not run. I could be wrong. Maybe that doesn't happen. Maybe it's just talk. Maybe he doesn't run after all. Maybe it's just talk. But if he does, I don't think it's accepted as he thinks it is. I think that as time goes on, that loses its shine. Trying to say that all these mass shootings were by gay people and transgender people, that's going to fade away too. One thing on the right, I say often, they make predictions that in the next minute or two is proven to be false. Always. Look at all the ministers that said Trump would win. Look at all the ministers that said that they would all be turned around, he'd be made president. I rest my case. And I gotta say this too. All these people who have been caught with sex trafficking and minors, and attempting to uh, would you say sell child pornography, producing child pornography. These folks work for Trump. These are people who are screaming about everybody's a pedophile and everybody's gay. In another way they would say it. But these people were just doing that a few years ago, and now they're going down for this stuff. I saw a judge yesterday got charged for this stuff, 9 years. I just it makes me wonder. People try to say that God is on the side of the right wing and all that stuff. Some of this stuff wasn't supposed to come out. Like these people, like we have to look at that right now. We have to take a second and look at that. How the right has ultimately failed in much of what they try to do, and they've been proven and shown to be perpetual liars and completely, how we say it, hypocrites in the things they say and do. As a guy, I don't like to mention their names. I don't want to give them clout. Ali Alexander, he got caught up. He was, I guess he wanted arm candy. He wanted to see pictures of young boys' genitalia, and he got caught up. And now Marjorie Taylor Greene wants him to be investigated. And he was associated with Nick Fuentes, who was associated with Kanye West. I love it. They like to take pictures with Marjorie Taylor Greene, Paul Gosar, and others. I noticed that. And it's good because it links them. Whether by omission, by commission, you are linked to these people who are committing crimes. I mean, these boys knew what they were getting into because he said it from the beginning. That's what it was. They wanted to be close to him to get further in the Republican Party. They knew what they were getting into. Let's not be blind about the issue. They wanted to be around these guys for that reason. Even though the fact is wrong, he used his power to do that. So many of these people who are high level were engaged in such acts. I talked about Flynn, his stuff. He had to sell his house, and then Trump wanted to bring him back. Manafort, all these are crooks. These are criminals. In a reasonable society, we would recognize that as a Trump party is a crook party. I say crook because you're using your power as a Republican or a Republican staffer or something like that. You're losing your power as that to get young boys to see pictures of genitalia. You understand it? You're using that power to get to these boys. It's crazy. And I will always see this as a party of criminals. I don't know. Think about that. Thanks for listening.